And we are back for another wonderful episode of Table Talk Entertainment, Table Talk Podcast. We are here from our good friend, Coach Luis, hailing from the great state of Florida. Sir, how are you today?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I am fantastic. I am so glad that you are on this podcast. Been dying to talk to
Likewise.
you, dying to catch up. Been a while.
Likewise, man. It has been a while. I know. We've been trying to do this for a while and
Literally over a year, probably.
yeah, pre-pandemic.
Oh, yeah, literally. Oh my God, that's funny you bring that up. It is literally before COVID, I think, is when we were like, dude, we totally got to get together and have a conversation.
Yep. It's been BC, before COVID, man. We've been
Oh,
trying to do this.
it's really surprising. I have not heard that term yet.
There you go. We
I
just
think you
coined it
just
on
coined a
we
term.
just coined it on your show, man.
Oh my God. Jeremy, save that in the recording.
We're gonna be
It's going,
famous.
it's going down. We're gonna get that copyrighted, and you're gonna be set. We're gonna hook you up.
We'll be good. Appreciate it, man.
We'll get 0.3% of all royalty.
Appreciate it. I'm good with that.
Oh man. So, what you been up to?
Oh man, a lot. I mean, just like today, it's been super outside, doing a lot of that stuff with the farm. Like I named it Lucho's Ranch. So been doing a
That
lot
is
of that stuff.
that is cool. Tell us about this farm. How long have you been on this farm?
All since I got here, it's literally just some land that we have and just working on it every day. I'm literally in the beginning phases of it. So nothing's been done. It's just all a bunch of hedges and trees and dirt, and so it's just going out there every day, machete and
That must be
big
really.
old.
I know, like, there's probably people who will hear this and they'll be like, "That doesn't sound fun whatsoever." But like, funny enough, driving back on my honeymoon with my wife, we were talking about we honeymooned in the Smoky Mountains,
Oh, sweet.
and literally the best place I've ever been. It was breathtaking. There was this running joke that we kept running or we kept hiking by these amazing looking areas, and I kept telling her, I'm like, okay, this is where you can scatter my ashes. Oh, he left. Oh, he quit already. He's,
He's
this
like,
dude was
fuck
like,
this.
oh, good. Dude, he left me on the stairs.
Oh,
I don't know what happened there.
There you are, bro. You left me hanging on these stairs.
I'm back.
I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
I think he just didn't want to hear about my life. I guess.
No, I wanted to. I was like, tell me more.
That's funny.
Well, before we were rudely interrupted by technology, so yeah, the running joke is that we would find this amazing looking place, and I would joke and say, "Honey, this is where you can scatter my ashes, like when I die." And she's like, "Don't talk about that." But then we would like find another spot like quarter of a mile down the trail, and I'd be like, "Okay, this is where you can put my ashes." And I swear, for like the 4 different times we hiked, there was probably like 30 different spots where I was like, this is where I want to rest forever, because it was just so beautiful there. But on the way back, we're passing all these farms, especially in Ohio. Rest in peace, Ohio. I hate that place.
Who doesn't?
But anyway, Ohio has a lot of farmland. But we were like, how cool would it be to just be on a farm? Like,
Yeah, man.
you don't worry about phone calls. You don't worry about your emails. You don't worry about going to work or traffic. Like, you're just working on a farm. Like, and then when I found out that you were working on a farm or living on a farm, excuse me, I was like, oh my God. I was like, that must be so cool to just wake. Like, sure, I'm sure it's labor 6,000. Like, it's probably so much work, but that must be so cool.
It is, man. It's not massive. Like it's really not. It's smaller, which is good because I've never done it before. My parents have. When they grew up in Dominican Republic, they lived on a farm, so that to them that's
Oh,
part of their life.
your parents are from the Dominican?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That
And
is a beautiful place, by the way.
it is, man. It really is. And so they've been here in Naples for a while, and it's not really a lot for a farm. It's like about 3 acres, but
Hmm.
it's a lot to clean, a lot to get
Oh, I bet.
ready, and like what I want to do with it and all that is just every single day, like you said, just get up, go out there and just do some stuff. And then you're like, man, I did a lot today. But then you look, it's like, huh, really wasn't that much.
There is
What the
so
heck
much more to
happened?
do.
Yeah, there's so much more to do. Gosh. So, but it's cool, we have a few chickens, they have some some trees that are kind of already growing out their mangoes, avocados,
Oh,
pineapple
wow.
trees, like little stuff like that. So it's just grinding and making it, better and better every day. And yeah, when I drive into, literally, I say drive into the city because it's like 30 minutes to the city. So
Oh,
that's
wow.
also pretty cool because then you get to like get away from everything,
Yeah.
for a little bit. And when you're out here, okay.
We lost. We keep losing.
Okay, I know what it is. I know what it is. It's stupid headphones. I can't
It
move. If I
was
take them
funny.
out,
It looked
it
like you
thinks
were
the
like
call's
taking
over.
the call from like an alien, and then you were
Yeah.
beamed up and you were gone.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
I
go,
was like, oh
gotta
my god,
go,
they called him home.
gotta go. Oh my gosh. So yeah, man, it's been nice to kind of do that, take a step back. You know, I came to Naples, Florida to kind of like take a breather from everything. I was really burnt out because I
Yeah.
work at the clinic. It was a lot, man. It was a lot. So before COVID, it was a lot, but then COVID came and hit, and I was completely burnt out, man, because we were working crazy hours every single day, nonstop. So when I had this opportunity to come here, I just took it, and took some time off just to not do anything but be here, be present. And that just so happened, I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to focus my energies on, is just getting all this kind of up and running and just focusing on this. So that's literally what I've been doing since I got here. It's been almost a month and a half.
Oh
And
wow.
it's been so different because
Yeah.
it's taken me just just now. I feel like I'm finally relaxing because I was so just overwhelmed and burnt out from all of those years, that to kind of just wake up and not have to go somewhere to an office, not have to go like work and do that to me was weird, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I'm like, we're so used to going 100% all day, every day. If you're not hustling and bustling, like you're not doing anything with life, which is not true. But it was just interesting to finally take my own medicine and
Yeah.
be like, man, you need to stop. You need to relax. You're running on fumes. So it's now is when I feel like I'm finally getting to that point of, okay, I feel a little better now, much more relaxed, you know, getting back to a routine of things, but still not going to a clinic. That to me was just, what am I doing? This is the weirdest thing ever, man. But it's really been interesting to see how our bodies get affected by
Mhm.
that, by never taking a break. And then when you do it, it's actually hard to do it. It's hard to just be and just stop and relax. And like I go out there, I don't take my phone with me unless I'm gonna just take a picture of the before and after type thing,
Yeah.
because there's no service really back there. So it's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So you do actually force yourself to be disconnected from it all.
Yeah, but that's a great thing though. To be
And
completely just kind of like disconnected from modern day life.
yeah, man.
So like
And
that's one thing, and I remember it. I mean, that you and I like we've been following each other for a long time. You and I are both avid outdoors people,
yep,
um, and I've thankfully was raised like that. So like we were always camping, always going on hikes, never really hunted whatsoever. I actually only hunted one time, and it wasn't with my family. They never were really into hunting, but camping, fishing, things like that was always something that was on the table to do. Um, but I like kind of lost that like in my 20s, almost my like entire 20s.
yeah,
And then like when I got into my late 20s and now 30s, I like thankfully have gotten all that back. And I remember when it happened, and I'm only thinking of this because of something that you said. Like that grind, you know, like that, oh, you better be turning and burning all day. Like, if you're not doing it, then what are you doing with your life? I felt like that's what I was doing for so long, just focusing on work, focusing on, you know, relationship. I mean, these are not bad things, but like I kind of like lost touch of the real world and kind of like my own self-care, you know, like mental self-care. I mean, because everyone gets up and brushes their teeth, right, Jeremy?
Oh yeah,
He's
100%.
just staring at me.
He's like, well, yeah, dude.
Oh yeah,
No,
definitely, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, totally. He's like, yeah, mouthwash is toothpaste. Yeah. Um, no, I mean, like everyone gets up, puts their shoes on, and goes for the day, but not everyone takes 10 minutes out of their day to self-reflect, or not everyone takes a half hour and goes for a walk and just is in their thoughts. Like, we sometimes get caught up in the monotony of modern day world. I don't want to keep using the term society, but like the modern day world that we live in, almost no matter where you live, you're going to get caught up in some stuff and you're going to forget like how important it is to dial it back. And that's one thing that thankfully I've been able to successfully teach my daughter. She loves being outside. Loves being outside. Like, she loves when we go hiking. I normally get her a couple times a week, and there's always something outdoorsy to do. Like yesterday I had her, we went to a petting farm. And we were among animals, we're feeding birds, we're looking at these crazy looking kangaroos and lemurs and Arctic foxes and all kinds of stuff, feeding horses and brushing them and all, like just being out in nature, not worrying about, oh man, I gotta go to work. Like, no, I'm not worried about any of that. It's just me, my kid, my wife, and we're just kind of dialing it back. Today my wife and I went on a nice long canoe or kayaking trip on the river. Quiet. We had our phones bagged up so that, I mean, you know, you don't want to get it wet anyways, but it was just kind of nice to only take out the phone if we just wanted to take a video real quick or a picture. And it was just her and I and the natural world, just like reflecting, you know, we're thankful, we're happy. I mean, like, I think people really lose sight of that, and not like in an ill way. You just can't help but sometimes be like, whoa, like maybe I need to relax. You know,
Absolutely right, man.
like, and I'm not gonna lie, because you don't post as much as you used to because you're not really on your phone as much. But I was noticing it a couple days ago. You were and forgive me, I don't remember it was on your story, but you looked so genuinely happy. You looked tired, but you looked really happy, and I was like, man, dude must be doing really good. Like, I don't know, I'm glad that you had that opportunity to go out there, you know, and I can see that you're really enjoying it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's like I said, it's been a shift, and to your point, we grew up the same way. We used to go on road trips all the time. Like, my dad would just be like, let's go to Canada. We'd literally gone to Niagara Falls.
Okay.
from Florida. Like,
oh my god.
He had one of those Econoline vans, you know, the conversion vans.
Yeah.
So we would just get in there, we would just drive, and those are my favorite times. We would go there and just hang out, just spend some time there. We'd go to Disney as a group, just always road tripping everywhere, and they loved all that. So that was kind of also ingrained in me too. So that's when I told myself last year, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be 42. I want to do something for myself. Like, what am I gonna do? And that's what it was. I got that camper. So I was like, all right, that's what I'm gonna start doing now. I've been wanting to do it forever, but like you said, we get so caught up in that daily grind that before you know, we look back and it's like, man, it's 5 years have gone by. What the heck happened?
Right.
You know, so it's like that's not what it's about. So when I got that thing, I started just jotting down spots I was gonna go to throughout the year, and I've been sticking to it as much as I could. This following weekend, we're gonna go to Elkmont, Tennessee for 4 days. So
oh wow.
Just gonna get in the camper. My sister, brother-in-law, my nephews, we're gonna go out there and just spend 4 days camping. But
so
that
awesome.
to me is fun, man. Yeah, and just be able to do that stuff and take the time to just be in nature. And there was one post I saw one day that said, people think I'm crazy But to me, crazy is working 8 hours to pay for a house that I can't afford, and to be stuck in this traffic I don't want to be stuck in, just do it all over again the next day. It was something like that, which is really interesting to me, and that really hit home hard when I was like, man, what are we doing? Like, we're supposed to be enjoying this life, not become
Right.
slaves to the things that we think we need, but we really don't need. So that's been a big part of a lot of stuff that I've been doing, is just kind of simplifying a lot of things and just having things that I know I'm going to use all the time. So
Yeah.
little things like that, man. But yeah, it's been nice. I have been posting a lot less. I really haven't. I've been just more enjoying the time. I
Yeah.
do take pictures of it because I want to have it for memories,
Mhm.
with the family and stuff. But then I'll just put like one big post with a few pictures after the fact of it, instead of, oh my God, it's so great, let me post it real quick. And
Mhm.
whatever, to each his own. If you want to do it, go for it. But I'm choosing to just enjoy the moment.
Mhm.
If I do take a picture of it or not, oh well. But I still remember the moment we had. And that's been, I don't know, I feel like I'm enjoying the days more,
Well, that's good,
not
man.
doing
I
it
mean,
all the time, man. Yeah.
there's so many times that all three of us can think of multiple times where you don't you don't stop to smell the roses and the day is over with, and you're just
That's
like, holy crap, what happened to the time?
that's pretty much me every day right now. It's just trying to get some
Yeah, I
money
mean,
so I
like
can
we've
do
all
stuff,
been
and
there where it's just
Dude.
constant, like, oh my God, like it's gonna be October soon.
yeah,
Like, are you kidding me? I thought summer just started. Now it's gonna be fall. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think this makes me think of a time. It was not too long ago. I believe it was after I had posted on a trip that my daughter and my wife went on. It was just a hike. We
Mhm.
thankfully live in an area where there's state parks everywhere in driving distance,
Yeah, man.
and like really good remote state parks. Like once you get in, you can get lost. Like so,
That's
thankfully, we live
awesome.
in a good area, and so we were going to one that we normally hike at. There's a little lake there, plenty of wildlife there, and it's literally like 8 minutes down the road. And we go there, and I posted on my story like, being in nature, with my family or whatever. I don't remember exactly what I'd said, but I was like, this is important. Like these are the times that are important, and we should prioritize this. I literally had someone message me and say, must be nice to have all that time to go out. And I immediately was like, in my mind, I was like, I am so sorry for you that you must be so miserable that that's what you're going to take from that. But I had
Exactly.
said, look, it's all about prioritizing your time. Like, so right now I'm on a 4 day. So, like, I worked a 7 day rotation. Now I got 4 straight days off. There's nothing stopping me from what I did yesterday and today, which was, hey, I'm not going to do anything but make time for my daughter, make time for my wife. I'm going to make the best meals. We're going to do some hikes. We're going to talk. We're going to fire up that movie that we've been wanting to watch. There's nothing stopping people from doing that. What I think people are doing is they get a day off. They're like, oh, I got to go get gas. I got to go pick up food. I guess I'll just watch Netflix for a couple hours, and then maybe I'll go, get some drinks or something, or maybe I'll go to the gym, but then I'll come home and watch TV. Like, it's okay if that's what you want to do, but don't complain that I have decided to prioritize other things. Like, to me,
Yeah.
to be honest, I'm probably gonna get some heat from a couple people. I haven't been to the gym in 3 weeks. Like, and I was going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I haven't gone, I
Right
haven't
here.
gone in weeks because, the wedding and then the honeymoon and then the week back at work. We got back on a Friday and I went back to work 7 a.m. Saturday. So there was like no break.
Oh, wow.
Um, but I still have free time, but I'm using it to spend time with my brand new wife, my daughter, take time outside. Like, you got to prioritize that stuff. I mean, because thinking back, and it's good that we're talking about this because reflection is important. I don't ever want to get back in that rut.
Yeah.
It would be easy to get back in that rut. I could do it probably in 3 days. I feel like I could probably get myself to be miserable. Like, it's
You're
not
right.
hard because of the monotony of the modern day world, but think it's really important for people to just take some time. Like, you only got one shot and you don't know when it's going to end. So why are you like not taking time to just enjoy your life?
You're right. One of the biggest things that helped me with that was when I was at the clinic was instead of working all the entire year and then taking, like 3 weeks off, one
Mm.
shot, because then when you come back, it's so much. There's 3 weeks worth of work waiting for you that no one's done. So you're like, well, why do I even go on vacation? So I ended up
I
just saying, all
never
right,
should
you
have
know
gone.
what? Yeah, I should have never gone. So that's why people don't go. And then before you know it, you're 5 years down the road and you've never taken a day off. So what I started doing was taking just long weekends,
Mm.
every couple of weeks, like every 3 or 4 weeks, I would take like a Friday and a Monday off, or a Thursday, Friday, and a Monday off. And
Mm.
man, that was helping so much.
I
So,
bet.
and it's nothing crazy. You just like, where do I go camping? Cool. It's a 40-minute drive. I'll leave either Thursday night or leave Friday early morning. And I got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and come back Monday to just unpack stuff and kind of like relax that Monday and go back to the grind Tuesday. So it doesn't really, it's just effort. Some people just don't do it because it's just not that important to them. They'll
Yeah.
always say like, oh, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Say it more to yourself as it's not that important to me. That's why I'm not able to do it. And then that'll change your mindset because you're like, it is important to me. Okay, so I will make time for it. So it's just little things like that. So I just took my own medicine, and I'm like, here I am preaching to people day in and day out for years on end about that work-life balance, but here I am not having the work-life balance. So it's kind of it's not cool. That's not how it should be. So it's
Yeah.
just making those shifts and those changes. But yeah, man,
I'm really happy for you, man. I'm
appreciate it.
borderline jealous.
Hey
And
man, come down
dude,
anytime, brother.
my wife is gonna rag on me after I say this. I promise you. So don't get offended. I have never liked Florida. Now I don't like Florida
Interesting.
because I need to be sold on Florida. And now
Get it.
and I'm not gonna lie, she's going to kick my butt. I've been seeing where you've been posting and like you're surrounded, and I go like, how is that like that looks amazing. So I don't
Yep.
know, bro. You may help my wife out with getting me to go to Florida.
Look, man, there's some parts of Florida like everywhere else. I used to live here. I was raised in Miami, lived in Naples for a few years, then moved, and then I spent 17 years of my adult life in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mm.
Now, Charlotte to me is the most beautiful city in the planet Earth. Okay, I don't care what anybody tells me. Charlotte to me is the most beautiful city ever. It had a little bit of
What
everything
are you
everywhere.
talking
I could go
about, man?
camping.
Detroit is beautiful.
Hey, it's gotten better. Calm down.
It has gotten better.
That's
Please
good.
continue, sir.
That's good though. That's good though. I'm glad. But dude, I love it. And the only reason I came back here was literally to be close to family. If not, if my family was in Charlotte, I would still be in Charlotte. That's my place. But Naples is probably the prettiest city in Florida. It's, I mean, it's got the best white sandy beaches. You can't compare with anything, man. It's beautiful, super clear water. Like I said, let me know. You want to come down one
Dude, I
long
swear.
weekend, man? You
Dude,
guys are more than welcome to.
I can almost guarantee you that when my wife listens to this, she's gonna be like, well, okay, like where would we stay if we go visit? She's gonna be looking up like the area and be like, okay, well, we could go there.
It is,
Oh no,
yeah.
what have you done?
And Naples is not that big, so yeah, you'll be fine. You just give me a heads up, man. And Waterpalooza is coming in January, and that's in Miami, which is an hour and a half away. So that's a pretty cool event. So that'll be something fun, man. Hopefully I'm able to compete in that event. But it's a 4-day fitness event, man.
That would be so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, man.
How, if you wouldn't mind enlightening us, how long because I know personally you're big into fitness. more importantly, I say more importantly because I feel like a lot of people miss the mark. You're big into mental fitness, keeping your mental health in check. But how long have you been involved in fitness and coaching and whatnot?
Probably since I was in my early 20s. Um, I was in the fire department in Florida when I was here the first time originally,
Mm,
and so got injured, and that's when my fitness thing took off because I couldn't do the fire department anymore, so I started doing that,
mm.
and that went from personal training to nutrition, and then health coaching, and then the whole mental aspect of it. That's been the last few years. But yeah, since my 20s, and I'm 42 now, so like 22 years.
Well, I'm not trying to kiss your butt or anything, but I think it worked out for you because you do not look like you're 42.
No.
I
Nope.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you look like you're a solid 33 or 34. There's no way
Yeah,
that anyone would believe that you're 42.
yeah, dude. And I was like, I thought the beard would change that, but it didn't. They're like, no.
No, it just added a little bit of class. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, you had to grow out a little beard. I mean, you're on a farm, bro.
I'm on a farm, man. I have the straw hat already.
There's no clean shaven farm workers.
No, man.
Farm like work on a
Those
farm.
aren't the real deal farmers. You know, they're like, ah, look at this noob.
Yeah, grow some hair.
Yeah.
Oh man. What I'm really interested because I really really like some of the stuff that you talk about and post, especially stuff in the past about mental health, keeping yourself in check, taking time, even things that we've talked about already, on this podcast. Like, is there a time that you can think of where that really hit home for you about taking care of yourself mentally and the importance of it, and maybe tell us what you try to do? Obviously, being on a farm is definitely helping you out with keeping your mental health in check and being happy in general. But like, if we were just two Joe Schmoes and we were to just do a Q&A with you, what could you tell us, A, what was that moment in time where you realized that was so important? And B, how can people easily keep their mental health in check, in your opinion?
To me, it was really important after I went through a really tough time because I was married before, so I went through a really tough time with that and separating and all that stuff. It was that to me is one of the most traumatic things I've had to deal with,
Mm,
and then being I don't mind being on my own, but that kind of wasn't my plan.
yeah,
So then that kind of showed me that we really don't have control of anything. You know, the only thing we can control is the choices we make. That's it. That's it. Nothing else.
that is so true.
Yeah.
We could probably have a
Yeah.
podcast about that topic by itself.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely, man. And and then also transitioning from Charlotte to Virginia right when the pandemic hit,
Mm,
because the end goal was to relocate to Naples to be close to family. So I went to Virginia to that clinic to create the wellness program there, and it was great and everything, and it was only supposed to be 6 months, right? So I was like, cool, only 6 months. I'll get this wellness program going for all the clinics, and then I'll relocate to Naples, Florida. But then the pandemic kept on going, so I had to extend my time there. So I
mm,
ended up being there for a little over a year, which was really hard for me because again, you're on lockdown. You can't be around people. I couldn't even hang out with the people that I knew because they were in Charlotte, 4.5 hours away. And I was like, I don't really want to make friends here or people because first I can't even like hang out with anybody, but I don't want to also, you know, create that type of a friendship because I'm not going to be here long. So I was in that floating space, which was
yeah.
really weird and very uncomfortable. But I still had, that's why I really, really just dove into work because that's what I knew I had and what was normal to me.
Mm,
And that's where I knew that it was so important to just have that balance because I wasn't having it. I was literally waking up at like about 6:30, going to the clinic, working out at the clinic, and just showering there, everything there. And then I would come home at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night from the clinic, eating, going to sleep, and doing it all over again. So,
Wow.
and then the weekends, I would go there too on some Saturdays to catch up on stuff because it was so far behind. So it really wasn't a life, honestly. And then I did meet through the clinic people that I was helping here and there. Like they're like, oh, you should at least meet, my friend. They have the same, interests as you. But I was so not sure about doing it because I was like, oh, I don't know, because what if I really click with them and then I really want to hang out and then I'm not going to see them again? It's going to suck. But I was like, whatever. So I did, and it's my good friend Lori, and we started doing kayaking trips, mountain biking, camping, and but I made sure that was the part when I knew about the whole mental about being honest with yourself and the mental aspect of it, the mental health aspect of it, of kind of like putting it all out there,
Yeah.
and be like, I hope you're okay with this type thing. Where I was like, look, I definitely want to be friends, but I'm not going to be here long. So I just want you to know that. So it felt nice to just kind of like talk and be able to just, all right, cool, it is what it is, like, let's go hang out. So it was really nice to be able to do stuff like that. And then have a good friend that you can just actually have, like you said, conversation with, that you can just talk with and be like, hey, you want to grab a bite to eat? Sure, cool, all right, awesome, let's do that. So it was really, really nice to have a friend like that again, because again, Charlotte, so I couldn't go there anymore. But
Mhm.
but one of the biggest things that helped me with the mental health aspect of it, and I knew how important it was, especially during that time, was journaling. That
Really?
really was super helpful. Yeah, I and more of reflecting to where the morning reflection and just kind of think about how you want to do a specific thing that day,
Mm.
writing it down, and then in the evening time, either before bed or something. That's how it works for me. Was kind of seeing how did I do with that throughout the day. Like, was I able to do those things I wanted to?
Oh
You
wow.
know, was I able to kind of focus on that specific one thing that I wanted to focus on? And I'll tell you what, man, that has helped me tremendously with all those things that I was really
Cool.
struggling with before I started doing that. And it's the Daily Stoic book. It's questions it gives you every single day. It's fantastic, and it's just nice questions to make you think. And sometimes there are things that don't really apply to you because it just doesn't. So I
Mhm.
just kind of put my own thing there that day. But that's been one of the biggest things that really has helped a lot is, reflection, journaling, big time, big time.
That's funny you bring that up. Oh man, probably around when the lockdown, at least in our state, started in Michigan. It's like last year. I had thought and actually purchased, still have not used it. I wanted to start writing, like in a journal. I was never laid off, or I was never told not to come into work. I was one of the lucky frontline workers during the pandemic. Um, but when I wasn't at work, I'm not going to lie, the lockdown, I understand that it was unfortunately a part of a tragic pandemic, but the lockdown was wonderful because nothing was open. There was nothing to do. And I know that there's going to be a million people that could have a problem with what I'm saying,
Oh, for sure.
but I'm talking about on a personal level for me and my wife. Like, it was amazing. Like, I'd get home from work. Now she was not working, so she was unemployed during the pandemic, the lockdown portion of it. Um, but I would get home from work, and we would just spend time together every night. We would go for
Yeah.
hour, 2 hour long walks. We'd talk. I mean, the conversations that we would have during our walks were just wonderful. And there's nothing to do other than just reflect and talk. And I remember during one of our walks, I remember telling her, like, I kind of like want to write, like I want to reflect or write down my thoughts or start journaling. And I remember I had acquired a journal and I never used it. I never used it. Man, I feel like this was supposed to happen. This is getting you're hitting all the man. First is Florida. You're making Florida sound really nice, and now now you're hitting that other button, the journaling
I
button. I feel like I might try to do that.
I am but a humble servant, man.
Man, you're telling me. Do I owe you anything? Like, should I send you some money?
Yeah,
Um,
it was a
that's
little
really
different for
that's
me
really. I
though.
think. What's that, Jeremy?
The pandemic. I mean, like I agree with you. Like the whole everything not being open and everything. But
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it was obviously tragic. But I mean,
yeah.
like, if
But
I
like
could
I
just
enjoyed it
be,
as well. Is
yeah,
what I'm
if I
trying to
could just
say.
be selfish in a non ill forward way for a second,
Yeah.
it was really helpful to me and like my wife, and honestly, our mental health, our relationship. It was just, and I feel guilty saying it because I know it wasn't good for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I was fine up until like it was after the lockdown though. Like this was right when we started opening up. Like I actually fell into like where I was working didn't help either, but I fell into a really really depressive state, and I actually quit my job over it because it was got to a point where I couldn't function daily going to this place without having like
Mm.
a panic attack or just not feeling like me.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you
man.
feel
It's
better
all
now.
Oh
Working at a
yeah.
good.
Yeah, where I'm working now, I mean,
I've noticed a change.
I'm a lot happier. I've actually lost a lot of weight since I started working there. I've dropped over 40 pounds of doing pretty much nothing, just relaxed and
You know, you
that's awesome,
literally
man.
being
probably
better.
dropped pounds because you're way happier.
Yeah. No, seriously, like, well,
Absolutely.
there I also had like it was just my diet too, but coming to this place, it made my life 100 times better.
That's awesome, man. That's good. Because when you're not happy somewhere, you'll look for all the negative things,
Oh yeah.
and your whole entire life will be just completely negative outcome. It doesn't matter what it is, just because you're
You
unhappy in that state.
you need
Yeah.
to put that in a quote. That needs to be a caption of the next post that you do. That was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
do
glad
that.
this is recorded. I might take that. That was good.
Here you go, man. Use it, brother. It's
Um, but yeah, not to get, I kind of got off topic, but journaling. I'm glad you brought that up. I might start doing that. I think for me, I wasn't sold on the fact that it would actually have such an impact, and it might be different for other people, but I'd be willing to give it a go again.
I was the same. I was very skeptical with it. I didn't think. I kind of thought it was. I kind of thought it was dumb. To me, I was like, I don't want to write this. Can I just like say it? But there really is something about it. And one other thing, I took it a step further with someone that I was working with at the clinic, and had all these. There's a lot of negativity in this last year with so much of the craziness going on. And I
Mm.
told him, I said, write that stuff down, all those things that you want to get out. And they're like, but I'm scared that someone will find it, and then like I'll get in trouble. I'm like, okay, even better. Yeah, give me a better one. Write it all down and burn it. And
Ooh.
doing that, they said they felt even more of overpowering of the situation because
Oh
they
wow.
wrote it down, they let it out, so they're not holding in it anymore, and then you burn it. It symbolizes that no longer has any power
It's
over
almost
you.
like a closure.
Yeah, so it's done, it's
That's
gone,
cool.
that's it. Yeah, man.
Wow.
So, and it's all just trying things. That's what coaching is. It's just being a guide and kind of brainstorming ideas and be like, okay, let's see if this works. What do you think? I think so. All right, cool. Let's try it. And a few weeks later, what do you think? It didn't really work. All right, cool. We'll scratch it off. That just means we know one way this is not working for you. Let's try something else. But that's all it is, man. And then again, I've just been using more of the things I've been trying to help people do with myself more now than ever.
That's really cool. That means that you're like a real person because you're taking your own medicine and it's
Yeah, man.
actually working. That must be quite the experience to be like taking your own advice that you've been
Yeah.
giving for years, and you're like, oh my god, I wasn't BSing people this whole time. Like,
Yeah.
this stuff actually works.
Yep. I'm like,
Oh, that's so
look at
cool.
that. Imagine that. But it's just so interesting because people think that every time I go into it, they're like, how do you always stay in such a good mood, Luis? How are you always like, you're this and you're always happy, you're always smiling. I'm like, man, sometimes you just gotta smile so you don't break down. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a lot going on in this head that it's not always easy, man. But
Yeah.
helping people helps. So that is why I like doing it so much. But I'm learning that balance, to be able, and then like I said, the journaling, the reflection, you know, even just going like we talked about, going on a trip, man, on a nice weekend, or getting on my bike and going on a ride. Oh my God, that is just the perfect way to just de-stress and just disconnect, man.
Those are definitely all important things. And I know personally, I would never have an excuse to not practice like self-care. Like, because I know that I could make time for these things. So, I think more people just need to get on board with keeping themselves in check. And it's not like, all right, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to travel the country,
Exactly.
or, I'm going to lose focus of my actual job and focus on, like, no, you can definitely find that balance. Like, but you have to
Absolutely.
want to find that balance.
That's the key
There
right there,
has
man.
to
You have
be
to want to.
some sort of like drive or focus. You can't just like, oh man, well, I hope this works and we'll see. Like, no, like, get a
Yeah.
plan, make small steps, and figure it out. Like, it's
That's right.
your life. It's great. I wish I had you 10 years ago to coach me. That would have been nice. But I mean,
You have me now.
most of the time, well, I got you now. I'm on my way to Florida. Um, but I mean, most of the time, people just need to figure it out, and that, to me, is like part of the fun of
Yeah.
learning about yourself and learning how, like, what can I do to be happy. Like, I think it's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of fun,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that complicated.
No, I
People a
think a
lot
lot
of
of people,
times.
I think a lot of people get it complicated because they get a lot of like online advice, or they see a tweet
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, this entrepreneur who pulls in 100K, like he said to do this, and I need to buy a helicopter and I'll be happy." Like, no, figure out figure out
Right.
what works for you and do it,
Yeah. Super simple, man. Super simple.
right?
Yeah.
Happiness should not be so complicated.
Uh-uh. We make it that way because
We
we
do.
think we're gonna fill that void with things. Like, oh, once I get this, I'll be happy. Once I achieve this, I'll be happy. Once I do this, no, you're not. Because then once you get there, you're gonna notice you're not happier. Then you're gonna be, oh, now I got to get this to be happy, and it's never ending, man. It's a pit. So it's just like
That it
figure out.
pit is a good word.
Yeah,
The
there you go. Another
never-ending
coin,
pit.
another thing.
There, this brings me back to a thought. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. He was actually on this podcast a while ago. Shout out to Persia Gray. Um, Him and I were having a discussion many moons ago about, I believe he had asked me, like, "Hey, how come you're like so happy with your girl?" My wife and I have been together for years, and we've lived together for years before we got married. Jeremy's been there for every year of it. Thanks for hanging on, Jeremy.
Yeah,
We love you.
by a
Um,
thread now, but I mean, what?
oh yeah. So we had a bumpy road, as most relationships will, especially when you're living together. I mean, like, that is like trial and error every day because you're
Absolutely.
figuring out another human being living in your space. So
Yep.
it's kind of a rough road for some people, but we made everything work. We've compromised. We've figured each other out. We figured out what makes us tick. I hate to sound like a Hallmark card, but like, we know each other's love languages. Like, we know what we need, and we know what we want. But I remember myself and my friend Michael were working together, and he had posed the question, like, how do you think it is that you've become so comfortable and content in a good way, and happy with the woman that you're with? And I was like, well, not to be like crass, and please forgive me, wife, if you hear this, don't take it the wrong way. I told him, I was like, you have to be able to be okay with not having them around. Like, you shouldn't use your significant other as your crutch. You shouldn't use them as like, oh, I can only be happy when they're around.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people have failed relationships because they are miserable people and they're using another human being as kind of like they're my rock. Now, don't get me wrong, my wife and my daughter, my rock. I don't ever want to live without them, ever.
Yeah.
But deep down, if they're away, I am still a happy person. Like, because I found out how to be happy. Like, I know what I need, I know how to keep my mental health in check. Hopefully, this never gets back to my department, but I suffer from crippling depression at times.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it's been going on since, I mean, Jeremy can attest to this. I mean, we've had conversations together many times.
Oh yeah.
It's been a decade old. I mean, it's a crippling disease. I don't like it, but I battle it through knowing how to be happy and focusing on what's important, which for me, my wife and my daughter. Um, but I feel like in order to really succeed in life, whether it be you're looking for a career, you're trying to find this fun hobby to do, you're trying to make a relationship work, people really need to learn how to self-reflect, look in the mirror for a while, and like learn how to be happy first. You know, that way you're not draining someone else unintentionally. Or, I mean, trust me, there was a time where I was a miserable human being and I was in a relationship with now who is my wife, and I was probably just a suction, just sucking all the positivity and happiness because I was just chasing a dream that I didn't know how to attain. I was very unhappy, very miserable, and I lost focus on what would make things work. I mean, I think people don't understand how important it is to self-reflect, take some time, be happy with yourself before. You had mentioned earlier, you're like, my plan was not to be alone, but you're basically like, well, here I am. Bro, you are happy as a clam.
Yep.
And I know you're a human being. You're going to struggle. There's going to be days where you're going to be like, holy crap, I feel terrible, you know, but you're genuinely happy. It's because you know what you need to do to make you happy. I can
Exactly.
promise you, I'm not a guru whatsoever. I can promise you, you meet someone else, bro, you're going to kill it.
And
You're
that's the
gonna
thing.
kill
It's
it because you know how to be happy, and because you know how to be happy, that's gonna overflow into that other person.
right. And that's the thing that happened with previously. It was when someone's not happy with themselves, no matter what you do, nothing will ever be good enough or nothing will ever
Yeah,
work. So that's draining. So, that's the issue that I was having there. And you're absolutely right. I I am just a I am a with myself, I'm a happy person. You
yeah,
know, super like I'm grateful for what I have, the family, the friends I have, all the relationships. It's it's all taught me something. And which is great, it's part of life, right?
yeah,
And I completely agree that whenever I am, ready to meet someone else or whatever the case might be, that I'll be completely like I was then. I don't, I'm happy being, I like my alone time.
yeah.
I like disconnect. That's why sometimes I go camping just by myself because I like
Mhm.
to be alone. So I think it's a big part of, like you said, in a relationship is being able to be okay with that, where you're with somebody not because you need to be with them, but because you want to be with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because you're with that person because they make you feel good. They make you feel happy. They compliment you. You compliment them. You're both two strong people that want to continue. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? You want to continue complimenting each other and making each other grow. So
yeah, bro. I'm
that's
so I'm so glad you said that. Grow,
yeah, man. That's
because
what
that's
it
what it's
is.
all about, man.
It is.
It's been a conversation topic quite a few times with coworkers, friends, because they're all asking like, "Oh my God, how does it be? Like, how does it feel? You're married." I'm like, dude, there's no like hallmark answer. it just feels so good because we both know that like we're making each other better people. We're keeping each other in check.
Mhm.
All we're doing is we're just sharing a love that we have and we're enjoying
Right.
our world and our life together and it feels so good. Like I'm glad that it happened when it did. I'm glad it happened with the person that it happened with. I was in your shoes many moons ago. I was married before, and I thought I had it all. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I was happy as a clam. I wasn't. I was just unfortunately filling a hole with a marriage and
Mhm.
with a relationship. And then Jeremy knows all about everything about that marriage. It was literally the worst thing that ever happened to me. And it made my life spiral out of control. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, when I was getting married again, it made me think, not in a bad way, but it made me reflect and be like, this is the right thing to do, right? Like when I'd be thinking to myself, being alone in my thoughts, and I would be like, hell yes, like this is exactly what needs to happen. The universe knows what it's doing. Like
Yeah.
there's a plan out there, and we feel so good about everything that's happened. And I'm telling you, I know there's this thing called like that honeymoon phase, but like,
Yeah.
oh my God, dude, it's like there's nothing like it. I almost can't even describe it. Like,
Yeah.
it just
That's
feels
good,
so
man.
good. And I
It
really think it's because we both know how to take care of ourselves.
That's right.
So in
That's
turn,
right.
we're just kind of vibing off of each other
That's it
and
right there, man.
growing together, you know?
That's right. You guys know that you're happy by yourselves, and when together you compliment each other, and you're fine.
Yeah.
You're like your friend Jeremy is like my friend Vic. He knows everything about my past and all that stuff too. So it's pretty cool to have a good friend like that that you can
There's
always
always that one friend
you
that
always got
knows
that one
too
friend,
much.
man.
Hey, hey.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man. It's needed. It's needed in these crazy times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, Jesse's been there pretty much through this entire relationship with me, and we haven't really been bad together. Like, Jesse'd be the one to tell me, like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And shit like that. So, excuse my language, but
It's good to have friends who keep you in check.
yeah, it is.
absolutely, man. It really is, man. It's needed.
It is. I think people get away with too much stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We get away with too much stuff. Our behavior is completely unacceptable at times, and there's no one on our shoulder being like, "Hey, no, 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 like don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that. Don't say
Yeah,
that. Don't think like that." No.
yeah. That's right. That's right, man.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
there was
yeah,
one thing that I learned through my failed first marriage was that you need to keep your circle of friends small and close as can be.
Yep.
yeah. And even with that, since we're constantly growing, you know, there are friends that are great friends, but just don't talk that much anymore. You kind of like you keep growing, and if they're not growing at that same level or that same pace, which is also fine, but it
Hmm.
happens. There's friends I've known since I was a kid that we're still friends now, and there's friends that I met a few years ago that I don't keep in touch with them anymore. It's all part of life. It's all part of growing, and the same thing can happen in a marriage. The same exact thing can happen. So
Hmm.
that's no different. It actually should be even more important because that is a huge decision. That's the person you're planning to spend the rest of your life with. So,
Right.
you
Kind of
know,
a big deal.
it is a little bit of a big deal. Yeah. So you have to really be able to know yourself really well to understand if you can or cannot be in that situation. That way you don't kind of screw up the other person's
Mm.
life or for that while, by thinking that what is something that's wrong with them or with me, vice versa, when in reality it's just a person has a lot of growing to do.
Mm.
And that's why it's so important to reflect all the time.
All the time. I could see if maybe if you lived on a farm, you, it would be a little easier to reflect and like, oh no, you know what, I'm good today mentally, but no, I mean like I feel most people in today's day and age, you almost need to do like reflection and keeping yourself in check like on a daily basis, you know.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's very important.
Absolutely. My that's how my mornings start, man. It's a walk, then I journal, and then I go by the day. Even now, I mean, I did it before. I'm not changing that anytime soon. It's a nice habit, to have to just continuously have that. Like we owe it to ourselves to have that type of a structure and kind of get ourselves in check right from the beginning. I mean, the first thing I do is make the bed. Obviously, that's like my first. That switches on the switch to get task oriented and get in that mode, and then I do the rest of all those other things. But yeah,
It's kind of funny that most people don't realize that that is like actually a mental trigger for many people. It's just
yeah,
making your bed first thing, and then it's like, all right, I'm good. It's almost like a mental cup of coffee for some people.
it is, man. It really is. I learned that. I picked that up years ago when I was in the fire department. We shared the building with SWAT, and that's where I learned that. I took that habit from there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, Jeremy, do you make your bed? Oh my God,
I
his
heard
wife
that.
is laughing in the background.
Yeah, she has my other pair of headphones on, so she's heard this entire thing. That's why I
Oh,
keep
that is.
looking over sometimes because I'm
Thank you,
maybe
Julianne.
she listen.
Had to be heard that.
No, but neither does she, so I can't be. I'm not at fault.
Well, you know what? And that's fine because that's how you both are, and you're vibing together.
Oh yeah.
That's right, man. I
They're
heard that
making it
laugh.
work.
That was the best.
And the best thing is, it was probably
That was
picked up
so
on the recording too, but it's like super faint.
It's funny, Jeremy. I forgot she was there, like in the room with you, and then I just hear her busting out laughing.
Yeah, she gets quiet. She knows. I
Oh
mean,
my god.
it can't be too loud because I mean the AC was running. I could hear it. So any little
Oh,
noise, my
that was
mic picks
awesome.
up. So
Um. So, lastly, we are gonna wrap this up here shortly. Lastly, I want you to talk about if I'm saying it right, whoop, or is it whoop?
Oh yeah. The whoop. This
Whoop.
good
Okay,
old
so
thing
it is
right here.
whoop.
Yeah.
All right. What is that
So,
thing you got there?
oh man, this is one of the biggest things that's shifted my focus on not constantly overtraining and focusing on sleep and
Mm,
recovery. That our sleep is just as important, if not even more important, than how much we actually train throughout the day.
100%.
When we sleep, that's the only time our body recovers, right? So if we're not sleeping, we're not recovering. We're not letting our body take the time that it needs to repair the broken muscle, to get healthier, repair whatever type of broken down whatever it is. So this helps me a lot to kind of understand where I'm at throughout the days, and it'll tell
Mm.
me, hey, you're overreaching for the day. You need to kind of like chill out. Especially now, I'm doing a lot of manual labor out there. This thing has been super helpful to let me know, hey, make sure you get at least this many hours of sleep so
Mm.
that you can do optimal strain exercise the next day. So it just keeps it in check for me. It does everything. I don't, I look at it through my
Yeah, so
phone.
you sent me the link, and I was actually reading about it because I honestly I never heard of it. When you sent it
Yeah.
to me, I immediately was like, did he get hacked? Like, was
Oh
his
yeah,
account
yeah, yeah, yeah,
hacked? Did
yeah.
he just send me a virus? But I trust you, my friend, and I clicked the link,
Appreciate it.
and I was reading about it, and so does it read like certain biomarkers on your body, or does it read your heart rate, or like how does that device work?
Yeah, so it reads your heart rate 24/7. That's all it does. It does not have a screen on it or anything like that. It's all Bluetooth to your phone, to the app. But yeah,
Oh,
it takes
there's no screen on it?
there's no screen whatsoever.
Oh,
It's just
I did not know that.
completely,
That might actually be a good thing, so you're not distracted looking at it.
that's right. That's why I like it so much. I
Oh
used to
wow.
have the iPhone, the iWatch, Fitbits, all the other ones, Garmin's and all that. And this one's standard the test of time, man.
Hmm.
It checks your HRV, it checks your respiratory rate, your resting heart rate, all of these things. Like I said, the strain levels, recovery levels, and it gives you great suggestions based on those things. It takes a solid 4 days of data. 4 days, you can't do anything with it. It's just learning what your baseline is, heart rate. It's learning what your
Oh
max heart
wow.
rate is, And then from there is where it builds how much strain you should be shooting for max for the day, how, depending on your sleep, how much you should wait to recover, all that. So it's fantastic. I mean, I tell you, it blows, even till today. I've had it for I was like one of the founding first members to get it. Until today, I'm still learning stuff from it from myself, and I was overtraining horribly. So that helped me to just train smarter, and now I train with purpose and more. I know what I'm doing more because I know how much I can push myself that day. So if I know I have low recovery, then the most I'm going to do that day is like half of what I normally would do outside, or if I'm going to go kayaking, I'm not going to push myself that hard, because I know my recovery is a little bit low. And it'll tell you how your strain is building all day. It's real time. So it'll show you how your strain is building as you're doing the exercise. So it's super cool. And then in the next day, when you wake up, it'll show you recovery processed, and you can see how you recovered from that following day. So, I mean, the data is invaluable, and it's very accurate. I've compared it to a lot of different things, your heart rate and all of those things. And
I guess for you using
point.
it that long, that would test it quite well. I mean, it's not like you're using it for a weekend. Then you're like, wow, that was interesting. I mean, if there was any errors or fallacies on the device, I mean, you probably would have found out about it by now.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I gotta trade my headsets. Hold on a second.
All right.
Just gonna disconnect this.
This is his way of getting out.
While this is going on, I'm gonna restart my voice thing. I lost all my sound in these headphones, so give me a second.
Oh, you too? See?
I'm the only one without problems.
There we go. That's why I always do tried and true wired, man.
See, that's why I just bite the bullet and I don't use headphones. I just listen to the crappy audio that comes out of my Surface Pro.
See, I have to use headphones because, I have a big desktop.
Well, yeah, because you really need to listen to the audio because you're recording it.
True.
Yep. My nephew
kind of coasting by.
My nephew does the audio stuff for mine, and he does the same thing. He puts headphones on and everything, and I like it too. It kind of like takes away the.
It's honestly a lot easier. Like I've been streaming on Twitch and stuff. I don't know. Do you know what Twitch is? I got affiliate on Twitch last year.
That man, he's 42, not 60 years old.
Hey, some people have never heard of it.
He knows what Twitch is.
My wife didn't know what it was at first. My wife didn't know what it was at first. So
what's Twitch?
Speaking of that, of living on a farm, man, like the farm life stuff.
We ain't got Twitch out here.
Yeah, that's right. We ain't got no Twitch out here. I had to bury Henrietta. She died the other day.
Oh my gosh!
So one of the chickens, I had to bury one of the hens, and that I didn't put that on my Twitter though.
Stream it on your Twitch.
And then it's streaming on my Twitch, yeah.
I got affiliated on there, and it's just like I had to actually like sit down and actually concentrate on what I was doing with my audio and all this other stuff. Then when I started doing the podcast, I'm like, okay, I gotta get this set up for this thing, get this set up for that thing. It was just, I mean, I'm also very computer savvy, so it helped, but
except for that time that it took an hour to get Skype up and running.
Listen, it happens.
Hey, Luis, I'm gonna hire your nephew for audio, okay?
Wow, that's messed up.
Jeremy's got a severance package in the
mail. I quit!
It's a $20 Amazon gift card.
My wife will steal that one. $20 Amazon gift card.
As long as nothing gets to you.
Yeah.
We love you, Jeremy.
Love you too, I guess.
Well, I am going to open up the floor to you for 1 second. I would like to know, do you have any advice for anyone? Say, I don't know anything about self-care or reflection or taking care of my mental health. Now, I know you discussed a couple things. I'm glad you brought up journaling. because I'm glad you reminded me of that. But what are some basic things that someone could be doing to start on that journey to improve their overall wellness?
Yeah. So simple is best, right? I would definitely say start with three things. If you're not doing anything at all whatsoever, work on your sleep. Work on going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. Our body loves structure. So if you get it with a good sleep schedule, that will really change a lot of how your body mentally processes things, how your digestive system works. It'll help all of that. So getting good sleep, drinking plenty of water. Like I cannot
Did you say
stress
vodka or water? They look the same.
water. Yeah,
Okay,
they
fair
do look
enough.
the same. But
Fair enough.
water,
Continue.
absolutely, man. At least, I mean, if you're not drinking any water whatsoever at all, at least 60, 70 ounces a day. At least. Our body is at least 80, our body is like 70, 80% water. So it functions on water. So if you don't give it water, it's not going to work well. So you have to drink water so that everything works like it does. The more water you have, the better you feel, the more better your digestive system works, the less cramps you'll have. So it's so important. Just those things, asleep, even, like right when you wake up, have a glass of water. That'll hydrate your brain to work even better. Our brain alone is 80% water. So think about it. You haven't drank any water all night. It's very dehydrated up there. Drink a glass of water as soon as you
A
wake up.
dehydrated brain. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, man. It's very important. And that'll help kick off things right away.
Hmm.
And, you know, those are really good things you can start doing right there. Good sleep, a lot of water. Try to get some exercise 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. And don't have to be the same time. Spread it out. Do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here. Your body will remember it. It doesn't have to be all at one time.
Hmm.
Even if it's going to work and you usually take the elevator, take the stairs. If when you're taking a break, go for a little walk. Nothing crazy, just small progressive steps, man. That should be that's that's why I did what I created with the Live to Progress, because we're supposed to live to progress every single day. So do little things. Oh, that's what I'm talking
I got
about.
my shirt on.
Appreciate that, man.
No, I
Think
appreciate
that
the shirt. It's a nice shirt.
Thanks, man. I gotta get with Jeremy now.
Yeah, we'll get you one.
But yeah, man, it's just all those little things, and once you get those little things down packed, then add something else. You know, little small steps. I always tell everyone it's like depends when I talk to the person about what their interests are, right? But if it's like we're guys, right? We love cars, so it's kind of like our body is a high performance machine, right? It's very high performance. So that's kind of like not giving our body the water and not eating properly and all that. It's kind of like putting in your car really cheap gasoline.
Mm.
That Ferrari will run, but it'll run like crap. It's same like our body. We feed it, but we give it very highly processed foods, things that are just not good for our body. It's going to run, but we're going to have aches. We're going to have inflammation. We're going to have pains. We're like, why do I feel so crappy? It's literally what we're putting in our body. Now you change it, high octane gasoline in that same car, it'll take some time for it to run good because it's still siphoning out all that old messed up gasoline. Same thing with our body. So we got to give it time. Give it that time to get rid of all that bad stuff. Just give it that time to get through it. It takes our body a while. You're talking about 6 to 8 months. But
Mm.
you just can't stop. Oh, what happened?
You disappeared there.
I was like, uh-oh, not again.
But I think you just can't stop. You have to continue to do it one step at a time, continuously. And if you can, get rid of gluten and dairy. If everyone could just do that, you'd be very happy. You'd be a very happy person. That'll lower inflammation and joint pain. Oh my God.
Is that, are you still there, or was that your way
There
of
you go.
exiting?
There you go. No, that, like that's it. A little information, I'm out. No, it
You
would.
dropped the microphone and you were
Yeah,
out.
I'm out. I'm out. But it would help a lot. It really would help a lot to do those things. But just again, small steps. Just small steps, man.
Well, that's good. That's good. Good information. I do appreciate the information on Whoop. Did I say it right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
WHOOP.
I keep wanting to say Whoop. I don't know why.
I mean, I think people pronounce it like that too. You're like whoop whoop. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what my brain goes like. Whoop whoop. Okay.
Yep.
So I gotta rewire my brain on that. But I'm definitely gonna check that out more because I really look. I trust you, man. Okay. So I trust what you're telling me.
Appreciate it, man.
And you gave some good feedback and good data on that. So, appreciate the code.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I am the type of person I will never suggest anything to someone that I haven't either tried myself or have done really good research on. I've never done that. I never will.
We appreciate your genuineness.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, I'm a farmer.
We do appreciate you coming on. I'm really glad that we finally got to have a conversation. We've literally gone through an entire pandemic without having a good long conversation. It's been too long. I'm glad we both survived and we made it out on top.
Absolutely, man.
Would love to talk to you again. Especially, I'd love to get an update after a while about how your farm's doing.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Because that's probably
maybe you can come out and you can do it here live.
Okay, so don't talk about that right now because my wife is sitting next to me.
You can do that, and I'll take you guys to the beach and all that, and then you come back and have some organic eggs. And
what's that, Luis? I can't hear you. You're breaking up. you cut out again.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to end this. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no. Delete my number. No. I'm telling you, you painted a really nice picture down there.
Cool. I appreciate it, man. I'm trying.
So, I hope you continue to grow and to thrive where you're at. Hope you have fun working on a farm. All that manual labor.
It's all
that manual labor day in and day out. I saw today you looked like you were working in the rain.
Oh man, that was the best. That was the best, man. We were done pretty much, and then it started pouring rain. I was like, oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Your video was kind of funny because you literally had this massive smile on your face. I'm like, what is this dude smiling at? He's in the rain right now, and you're just like,
what the heck is wrong with this guy? Like, seriously, like, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, we appreciate you coming on. Appreciate your feedback and your suggestions. They do go a long way. And as always, it's good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Likewise, man. And it was good talking to you too, Jeremy.
Yeah, nice talking to you, man. I do have one question though.
Oh boy.
What?
It's a staple now in the Table Talk podcast. Just a quick question: do you believe in Bigfoot?
Man.
Oh boy. I thought you were gonna forget, Jeremy.
No.
I think he's out there, man.
Oh no.
I think Sasquatch is out there. I think the Abominable Snowman's out there. I think Loch Ness is out there. Look, man, you're talking about a guy that's prepping for the zombie apocalypse. So,
I mean, next time we just gonna need to make sure Jake is here, and then Jake's gonna be very happy.
Will be here. That way, he knows that there's another believer in the room.
Yeah, tell him in the Whoop thing. I created a team. It's called Team Not Eaten.
All right, good
awesome,
job, Jeremy. I thought you forgot about that.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's been going through my mind all night.
We're taking a poll on all the people that we've talked to, and at the end of it all, I get to say, "Hey, look, there's more people that don't believe in Bigfoot."
I like it.
Agreed. All right. Well, you take care of yourself.
All right, guys.
Be in touch. I'll probably hit you up in a couple days. And you stay safe down there in beautiful Naples where you're at.
All right, guys.
Tell your
You
chickens
as
I
well,
said
man.
hello.
I'll tell them, man.
Mail me some eggs.
Oh, I can do that.
Or scrambled, however they arrive. They'll probably be scrambled by the time they get.
They probably would be
Yeah.
good. You're just gonna have to come here and have them. That's
Oh my
it.
god. All right. Well, with that note, catch us
On that note,
online. Catch us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Probably OnlyFans for Jeremy. And you can check us out on Anchor FM and all the other ones that I forget about because I don't listen to any of that. Yeah, catch us out on Table Talk. Thank you, sir, for coming on.
all right, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Stay safe.